Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through July 2024, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro, Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. My name is Randall, and the Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides, starting, as always, with the City of Prescott median sales price per square foot. All right, so each one of these dots represents the result for that month. Each is the median sales price per square foot. Blue is last year, and red is this year. As you can see, we are about 2% higher than last year for the month of July, which I was kind of anticipating. We had a couple of months where the price per square was going up a little bit, just as last year's results were kind of going down. Now they're coming back together again. I anticipate that the red line will just sort of flatten out. I really don't see it moving around a whole lot. Been flat for a while now, and I think that's what's going to happen in the near future. Going next to our volume chart. This same sort of thing. The blue line is last year. The red line is this year. Each dot represents the number of homes that closed in that month. Kind of a spiky blue line. Last year was up and down and up and down a lot. Still some of that going on this year. Roughly the lines go together, but it's really hard to make any sense out of these things when they're just kind of jumping around a bit. We had a drop last year. July doesn't usually have a lot of closings. So last year it's got, a lot compared to, say, December. But I mean, there always seems to be a drop in the month of July, probably because of the heat in June, because the homes that are written in June close in July. So usually we have a little dip and then it bounces back up for August. So I'm anticipating this will bounce back up in here next month, if the past is any indication of the future. So is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? Well, the way we answer that question is with our pending ratio analysis. So when I ran these numbers at the end of the month, there were 713 homes on the market. Of those, 106 of them were already pending. Well, 106 is 15% of 713. So our pending ratio is 15%. If you look up the 15% in our handy dandy color chart here, it'll tell you that 15% pending ratio represents a strong buyer's market. And we've been there for a while. Some months we kind of bounce up to a buyer's market, but most of this year we've been in strong buyer's market territory. Here's the same bit of information broken out by price point. Now the 100s and the 200s, the volumes are so low, I wouldn't pay much attention to this. So essentially we've got homes in the 300s are almost a balanced market. Anything that's kind of low priced in Prescott tends to go pretty quickly. So those tend to be more of a seller's market. Then as the price goes up, becomes more of a buyer's market. At this point, though, except for the threes, everything is in a strong buyer's market. Very, very flat. Usually there's a little more play in this. The higher end homes kind of get into the extreme area, but right now it's just very flat, just a strong buyer's market. So how long does it take for homes to sell? Well, it takes about 6.1 months to get to a contract, and a little over a month for escrow, bringing the total to 7.2 months. That's up over last year. I'll go over the changes from last year and last month when we get to the highlights. Moving now to Prescott Valley. Same song and dance. We've got median sales price per square foot. These lines are a lot easier to trend out because they're not all so spiky. I'm not sure why, but Prescott Valley tends to be their lines tend to be a lot smoother. Still running about 4% over last year. That's been true for a while now. I think we had a little bit more these last couple of months, and then the gap sort of tightened a little bit. I'm anticipating that this red line will stay ahead of last year for August, probably about the same amount. Looking at volume, same thing, not nearly as spiky. These lines stay pretty much neck and neck. Sometimes this year's over last year, but in July, last year popped out ahead of us. Maybe a little hotter this year in June than it was last year. Not quite sure, but that's such a small difference, it's really kind of hard to explain. And in terms of the pending ratio analysis, we had 296 homes on the market, which is down from last month. 64 of those were already pending. Pending ratio is 22%. So that is a buyer's market, not a strong buyer's market, but a buyer's market. Breaking that out by price point gives us this chart. As you can see, the same sort of thing. We have very few homes in the 100s and 200s down here. This blue column represents the number of homes sold, and the line up here, the red square, indicates the pending ratio for that price point. I think I forgot to mention that last time. Same sort of thing. You tend to have closer to a seller's market for lower price points, and then as the price point goes up, it kind of trends down, getting into the strong buyer's market. But for some reason, a million plus kind of pops up. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's not a big market. You don't have a lot of homes over a million in Prescott Valley, but looks like the demand and the supply are closer to balance than they are in the city of Prescott. Takes about 2.8 months. That's roughly half the time in Prescott Valley. Over in Prescott, it's more like 6. This is 2.8, not quite 3 months. So things move pretty steady out there. A little less time in escrow, a little less than 1 month. Usually escrows are about a month. Sometimes they're running fast. That means probably a lot of the transactions were cash, a little more so than usual. If cash doesn't take as long to close. If there's a loan, it takes longer. So this might just be a function of the mix of cash to loan transactions. All right, so highlights. The median price per square foot in Prescott this past month was $337. A small change from last month, but we're still 2% above last year. Our volume was 99. That's kind of low. It's down 12% from last month, down 10% from last year. Our inventory is 713. Together, that's about almost exactly 1,000. Before COVID, typical inventory was more like 1,200. So we've got a ways to go before we get to the inventory that we used to have, but we also don't have the transaction volume we used to have. Had a lot of transaction volume during COVID. I think it ate up a lot of the transactions that would be happening this year. So volumes have been kind of low. That's been true all over the country. And 6.1 months to contract, which is almost 3/4 of a month longer than last month. So that's trending out. Prescott Valley, 289 is the median price per square foot, down a little bit from last month, but still 4% over last year. Volume at 83, which is 8% more than last year. Maybe we have some volume going from Prescott over to Prescott Valley, up 19% over last year. So that's a significant amount of volume. Inventory at 296, that's down a bit. I think the sales this month kind of suck some of that up. So unless we get a lot more listings, I think the pending ratio may go up a bit. And we're at 2.8 months to contract, which is a little over half a month less than last month. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It is sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady. And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.